Saturday morning, good Saturday evening, good Saturday afternoon, depending on where you're watching. Welcome to another edition of Crime Time with DutyRon. Guys, you know me. I'm a retired New York City police detective with 20 plus years of law enforcement. And if you like all things true crime related from a police perspective, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll get all things DutyRon and Ed Wallace when we go live or upload another video. Saturday morning, I had to come live. I never do these early live streams. It's before 10 a.m. So good morning to all my East Coast friends and some of my West Coast friends that are really early birds. And watching on the replay, thank you. Special thank you to the Patreon supporters, the channel members, and all the folks who engage and subscribe to this great community. You are what makes it a unbelievably awesome place. And I can't say enough good about you guys here on Crime Time with DutyRon. Good morning, Dawn Marie, D. Love God, Ruth Ann Griffin, Michelle P., Pete Pranzo, Lieutenant is here, Ryan Investigatives Group. Good to see you, Ryan, Investigative Group. Hello, how are you, Billy Boy? Good to see you. I'm just going to highlight a few. Agent 99 is here. Oh, my. Dave in Osaka, we got him. Good morning, Dave. Good to see you. Dave, I want to get together with you and talk about some crime in Japan. The reason I did this live stream so early, and if you could let me know in the chat by placing a 1 if the audio is good. I turned it up today. I did some adjustments, and I've been hanging out with the producer Josh and trying to get some levels correct. So we made some additions and made some subtractions. But let me know if the audio is good for you. Thank you, Michelle, Richella Pranzo's here. God Becca, good to see you, Cammie. Thank you, Cammie. Lauren McKenzie's here. Melissa Cicino, my good old Irish friend. Carol Love in Alaska. Crime Scene Cleaner is here. Thank you. Thanks for the ones in the chat. As you can see, guys, I have the Jagaloon Lane sign right below my 100,000 subscriber YouTube plaque. And thank you to everyone who subscribes here on Crime Time with DutyRon. You guys are unbelievable. And I just want to say quickly, the Jagaloon sign is there for a reason. It's the primary reason why I made this video. Gabby Petito, scam artists, they're still at it, even with this case completely coming to a close. I have received over the last 2 days, dozens. I can tell you dozens of people have reached out to me, some who know me and some who really don't even know me. And just to tell me, hey, DutyRon, there's people that are sending DMs on social media. Instagram is one of the favorite platforms for scammers. Facebook, as I call it, fake book. They're sending out requests for donations and money to Gabby Petito under the guise of them being attached to the Gabby Petito Foundation. So what does any good detective do when this bull happens? I take in the information, I verify it, I look at it, I make sure that it's coming from reliable sources. I ask the people questions, just like any good investigator would. And I make sure and I vet that, in fact, there is something messed up going on. And when I see and it's clear and right in front of me, I just say to myself, oh, hell no. And I don't let it go on. So what I did was I reached out, I verified these fake accounts. I reached out to the Gabby Petito Foundation, and then I reached straight out to Nicole Petito. And I hated to do it, but I had to. And she appreciated my effort and everybody's concern for these scam artists. And basically what Gabby's mom said to me in a nutshell, I'm not going to read it word for word, but she basically said, Ron, we would never reach out to somebody on social media, Joe, Tara Petito, Jimmy Schmidt, Nicole Schmidt. They would never reach out to anybody asking for donations. The Gabby Petito Foundation website, which I have linked down below in the description, is the only safe place where you can donate directly to the Gabby Petito Foundation and for her family. The Gabby Petito Foundation is going to be repurposing, and they have scholarships for for children in the neighborhood in Gabby's name. They also have plans to donate to search groups and domestic violence groups. So they're going to be doing great things with their money. There's a golf outing in April, which I will be attending. But I wanted to bring it to light for you guys so nobody's scammed by these people. So I'm going to show you quickly one of the Instagram accounts that has over 16,000 subscribers to it right now and has made over 150 posts, probably more. This is a screenshot from in the past. I believe that this account has close to 20,000 subscribers right now. I won't give it the time of day, but it's been reported not only by the Gabby Petito Foundation, but by myself directly to Instagram's law enforcement liaison. And I know a lot of you guys love when I say law enforcement because it's coming from that New York accent, and it's instead of law enforcement, it's law enforcement. Everybody makes little digs at me with that. All right, let me show you exhibit number 1. And this is somebody who outed them and put their page on blast, but Instagram didn't do anything about it. So we're trying to get Instagram to shut this person down, and I'll show you how fakes and scammers try to solicit funds from you directly. So if you could, please take a moment to share out this video, put it out onto your social media platform, and share it with your family, share it with your friends, share it in the Gabby Petito Facebook groups. Get the word out there that, there are people who really get tricked and get scammed by these people. So here's an Instagram account that I'll show you guys quickly. I'm going to go full screen with it. All right. It says Gabby with lower letters, lower casing, and then a bunch of underscores, Petito. And at that, this is a scam account. Remember, everyone, this is a fake scam page pretending to be Gabby Petito's aunt. Be sure to spread the word. Bobby Cat, thank you so much for that super chat. Much love and respect. Good morning. Please help and sign the Summers Law. Yeah, it's not quite what this stream is about, but I appreciate that super chat, and we'll talk about that on another live stream. So Bobby Cat, send me that information straight to DutyRon.com. So here's the fake account, Gabby __ Petito. It had 15,900 subscribers, and I'll go on to show you. This is engagement from this account to a person who figured out they're a scam. But look, they say, "Hi, I'm Gabby Petito's aunt. We're trying to put up a Gabby billboard. If you were interested in donating money to help support, it would be greatly appreciated. I can send you a link." You're Gabby's aunt? Question mark. Let me know if you could see this in the chat. If I need to make it bigger, I'll make it bigger. This account has been active for a while, but I'm hoping that I just got onto it yesterday, so hopefully in the next 24 to 48 hours, it should be shut down. So here's the engagement. You're Gabby's aunt? I would be honored to donate. So this person, let me know if you could see it. If you could see it good, if those of you who are vision impaired, I can make it bigger. I could do one of these. Yeah, I just made it a little bit bigger, guys. And then the person answered. Hold on. All right, that causes some kind of challenge for me. All right, the person answers and says, "Yes, I'm Gabby's aunt. Do you have a Venmo or PayPal to send the donation payment, dear?" There's the immediate no, and this comes straight from Gabby's mother, is that they never solicit or ask for money online from anybody directly like this. All right. So when you see somebody saying, "Hey, here's my Venmo," or here's where you can donate to, that's where the trouble lies. All right. So then it goes on to say, The person says, "Thank you. I will send the PayPal link." So they send a PayPal link, and look, the PayPal link comes back to Deshaun Wiley, and it says, "You're not Gabby's aunt, are you?" "I am Gabby's aunt, dear. I'm with Nicole and Joseph as we speak," which is bullshit. So it comes back to Deshaun Wiley at Jamie Petito. This is the payment request. And that scammer is active right now on Instagram. So this is a concerning thing for me. I want people to understand that these people are out there. And I myself get messages on Facebook, DM messages. I get messages on Instagram for people, not quite stuff like this, but there's always people sending me stuff saying that I can become a millionaire with crypto. There's just all kinds of scams. If somebody DMs you and you don't know who it is, or even if someone DMs you from an account that you know that might have gotten hacked and asks you for money, don't send it. It's plain and simple. I mean, there's so much trickery that goes on. You have to be very careful about it. So it goes one step further. The woman who was involved in this, who was getting scammed, she even questioned after the person sent, "I'm Gabby's aunt. I'm with Nicole and Joseph right now," which was bullshit. I showed all this to Gabby's mom. And then the person said, "Send me a picture. Why does the PayPal come up with a Deshaun Wiley?" So kudos to that person for getting suspicious about it and reporting it. That's what's important about this stuff, is that if this happens to you, you just don't delete it and forget about it. Report it. This person reported this stuff to me, and tried to report it to Instagram with no results. So there's scammers of all kinds. These people are sick. Ed Wallace is here in the chat, and Ed says, "Always have low life types like this trying to take advantage of a tragedy." 100%, Ed. And this is what makes it so disgusting and despicable, is that you have jagaloons. You have jagaloons like this that are common everyday criminals. They're thugs. This is a crying shame for people to stoop this low, to do stuff like this. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Timmy Acosta, great to see you. Good morning, Tim. Yeah, Nikki Bella says it's sad and horrible. Such a horrible thing to do. Melissa says that's real disgusting. That's evil and disgusting. Yeah. Richella Pranzo, she is the wife of Pete Pranzo, lieutenant, a boss from the NYPD. She knows better. So no matter where it's coming from, like I said, you got to be very, very careful. So Sharon Thompson says, "Just came on from Australia. Cheers. Put another prawn on the Barbie. Thanks for calling out the scammers, DutyRon. There's a ton of them. You got to be careful, you know?" So let me see a couple more comments. Making money off of other people's tragedies. Yeah, this is criminal in many different ways. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. There are some people who try to do drum up or don't get donations for victims and their families, and it's legit. Like, you know, I can probably call out many examples of good people that try to do fundraising. I'm one of them. I do it, you know, and I repurpose that money. The problem lies with people like this that are contacting people under the guise that they're part of the family, and you know that they're not going to take that money and give it. You know, so Ed says it's a federal crime. It's wire fraud. You know, that's what makes it really horrible, is that they're pretending to be a deceased person's aunt, and a deceased person aunt is so that makes it takes it to the next level of jagaloonism, that it makes it so much more disgusting and despicable, you know. So I think education is important. You know, Ryan Investigative Group, Billy Ryan knows that these types of scams were rampant in the wake of the 9/11 tragedy, the attack on our nation. Yeah. So Gabby Petito is it's not the first time, and it's not going to be a first. It won't be a last. But we need to have everybody educated in regards to that this is out there. It's so important to have this conversation. So when you get these messages or DMs on your social media, you can't trust these people. You know, again, like I said, the Gabby Petito Foundation is the only bona fide way to donate straight to them. Let me just get it up. Hold on, I'm going to get it up. Petito. I actually went on the site, the Gabby Petito Foundation. It's linked in my description here. So it's the Gabby Petito Foundation.org. And I'll show it here now. Let me get the comments off the screen. Go full screen with it. So this is the Gabby Petito Foundation. They have scholarships, as you can see. Well, I'll accept those cookies. They have a web store where you can buy merchandise. This is the only way, and these people don't reach out to people and ask for donations. You can go here, you could buy these wristbands, you could buy the Let It Be signs, keychains, shirts, hats, stickers, iPhone cases, the water bottle. This is a way to this is the only safe way to go and make a donation, and it gives you about them, the scholarship funds, events that they're doing. So these are events that are coming up. There's a golf tournament coming up in April. I'm going to be going to that. It's out in Long Island. And if you could go over to the Gabby Petito Foundation's website, and you could look at it, and it will show you, you know, all of their updates, all the things that they're doing. Stay away from these scammers. Stay away from these jagaloons that are on the internet trying to scam you of your hard-earned money. It's not going anywhere but into their pockets. So, you know, again, you could get all the information, all things Gabby Petito on GabbyPetito.org. I will link that down below in the comments section and also in the description of this video. So it's trying for me because I took a break this week. I gave you guys, for those of you who are here in the chat and pay attention, how many of you noticed that this whole week I took a breather from going live on my lunch hour? I think I went live once or twice max this week. I took a break from it, and some of you sent me messages and like, "Hey, where are you, DutyRon? What's going on? Are you okay?" I don't want to wear out my welcome. I don't want to burn you guys out with unnecessary live streams. So that's what happens. You know, you got to take a break every once in a while from it. You know, so that's what I did. This week I did a lot of thinking, a lot of behind the scenes planning. You know, next Saturday I'm going to be doing a 4-hour fundraiser for Texas EquiSearch, and all the funds will go straight to Dave Rader and the groups who search for our missing. So the fundage and all of the chats, super chat money, it's not even super chat, it's direct donations. It doesn't pass through my account. It goes directly to EquiSearch Midwest. Tim Miller, Dave Rader worked it out. where the funding from this 3 or 4 hour live stream will every dime that you donate, whether you donate $1 or $100 or $1,000, every penny of that will go to EquiSearch, the people who are searching for or missing. They are not jagaloons. They are not people who are playing around. They go out, they get a job, they get the job done. And we're going to do that for 3 or 4 hours on Saturday, a week from today, 12 noon Eastern, and I'll go all the way to 3 or 4 o'clock or however long I have to do it. Dave Rader will be joining us, Twyla Cisco, Gene Robinson, obviously Ed Wallace will be with me, Lisa Lockwood. I'm going to invite Bayan Wang, the boys, Roro. I'm going to ask her if she can come on, Jennifer Nobles. I'm even going to ask the Lamar sign people, the billboard people, to come on, and you guys can see where your money's going to every month for our boys, Sincere and Classic. Don't forget, EquiSearch has searched for Summer Wells, and she, her birthday was yesterday. She turned 6. We don't know where she is. I didn't feel it was time to celebrate. I acknowledged her birthday myself. I prayed for her. Today I speak here about her in the 22-minute section of the live. Wherever she is, whether she's in heaven or in somebody else's custody, you say your prayers in strength. I don't feel like it's a time to celebrate a birthday or have a birthday party. Other people feel differently. I respect it. I saw people, all over the place did streams about Summer Wells. I did it silently to myself. I said a prayer, hoping that, we get some answers. But these great people from EquiSearch Midwest, Dave Rader, Twyla Cisco, and hundreds of volunteers have gone down to the Beach Creek community and searched for Summer Wells. Not once, not twice, 3, 4 times. And there's more times that we don't even speak about, where they did drone surveillance, drone footage. So searching for the missing is their mission. Lost is not alone. Wearing the wristbands. You guys can go over to DutyRon.com and support them with the wristbands. Purchase them, $10 a piece. You can buy 1, you could buy 5, you could buy 10. But mark down on your calendar for next Saturday. That's going to be huge, because that fundraiser is what's going to help EquiSearch continue to be able to respond to families and police departments that request them to come across the country. Don't forget, they went out to California and took thousands of video and pictures of landmass areas for Orrin and Orson West, Sincere and Classic. They are at the ready to search for any and all when they're called upon. And they don't send a bill to those police departments. So it's important that we support them. So every ounce of every penny that is donated next Saturday, a week from today, on my stream, will go directly to EquiSearch. It won't pass through my account. It goes straight to them. Let's see if we can, drum up quite a bit of money for them and, help them support their cause and what they're doing. It's for me, it's money well spent. So I've already scheduled that live stream. I'm going to make it public soon, and you guys can set a reminder. You can, when it's like public and available publicly, that's when the donations can start. So I'm going to have it live all week long, and then we'll go live on Saturday. I'm hoping that we can, while it's waiting to go live, that we can get donations in there and we can share it, put it all over the social media. I'm going to invite JB from WFLA to come. Hopefully he will. I'll have some, larger YouTube crime channels. I'll invite some of the people that you probably watch and I'll try to get some of those folks to come on and donate some of their time to come on to the stream. It's going to be 3-4 hours long, so I'm going to try to get as many people as possible. I'll be reaching out this weekend to some of the great people, Bill Cannon from Police Off the Cuff, and good old Detective Phil and Bill. Of course, we're going to get them on. You know, the more the merrier. So it's going to be fun. We're going to do it, and I'll be able to play some music. I think we'll be able to use some stuff. You know, gunshots, all kinds of stuff. So I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll have a lot of people, and we won't have to use this soundbite.
Bueller.
Hopefully we won't have to use that soundbite. But yeah, let me just say hello to Robo Kathy, Fuzzy Doxy, Lisa Davis. Good to see you. Carol Loving Alaska. God Becca says she'll be there. That's awesome. Thank you. Shannon, I know I can count on her to be there. And listen, like I said, every cent counts. If you have $1 and you want to send it during that live stream, send the $1, because that whole dollar goes straight to EquiSearch. It's going to be a great thing. I'm looking forward to doing it. This will be my first one that I did. I did a test last night just to see if it works. So me and Dave Rader, we did a test on StreamYard because I wanted to make sure I could have guests, and we made it work. So I'm hopeful, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that that it works. I want to just acknowledge a few people that sent Christmas cards to me, and one person in particular sent a gift to Oscar. So I'm thinking it was Army Mom. Army Mom sent a Christmas card. It came in my P.O. box. A bunch of people. Kimberly Myers sent like 3 or 4 Christmas cards, made custom stuff to me with nice wording in it. I think this is a dream catcher on the thing. Such a beautiful card from Kimberly Myers from Bakersfield, California. Thank you for that. I just want to acknowledge some of these because they're awesome. Somebody sent me, Heidi Lee sent me a $10 Starbucks card. Kimberly also sent this for Ed Wallace. So she sent a card for Ed Wallace and Joey Brooklyn. The little dog in there. Christmas and to get well, prayers to get well. So thank you, Kimberly. She sent a lot of stuff. She thought it was also my birthday. I don't know why, but she thought it was my birthday. So I have a birthday card from Kimberly as well. So thank you for the early birthday card. My birthday is in April, but her heart was in the right direction. It's so sweet. So this is from Heidi Lee. There was a $10 Starbucks card in there. Thank you, Heidi. I appreciate it. This is when I got sick. Kimberly Myers again. Send me prayers to get better. Please don't get sick anymore. So Kimberly Myers takes the cake on multiple cards. But thank you, Kimberly. You're so sweet, so kind. Lady Catherine sent a thank you, sir. Your presence in each broadcast, prepared to teach and educate. I appreciate your integrity. I'm very sorry to see the police community abused and handicapped in their profession. Please know we appreciate the police and we love your effort and time that you spend, your family. We appreciate your family, your career, your channel, and your large community. Thank you for a great example and a solid role model, Lady Catherine. So this is just a thank you card, and that was what was in there that she wrote to me. So sweet, so nice. So in the packages there was a toy for Oscar, like a rope toy. So I'm not sure if I got it right of who sent that rope toy. This is Eva Zips. She sends me from Canada. DutyRon, thank you so much for the pen. That was the pen that I sent that cost $14.25 to send. Cost me $14 to send that pen to Canada. Thank you for your generosity. Merry Christmas. Wishing you and your beautiful wife a happy and a healthy, prosperous 22. Best regards, Eva Zips. Her address is in here, so I'm not going to show it. But this is a card from Canada. Christmas greetings. Beautiful Christmas card. Kimberly Myers for Joey Brooklyn. I'm not going to show. Oh, I could show it because I won't. I didn't open this one. This is a Christmas card for Joey Brooklyn from California. I didn't open it yet. This is for Joey. I'm not going to open it. And then somebody in a Snapfish big envelope sent me. This is the best thing that I got. Somebody from Snapfish made this for me and my family, but I don't know who did it. So whoever made this, it's a picture of Oscar, me and my wife and my sister, me and my son and both my sons, me and my wife, and then my whole family down here is my mom, who is deceased now. My mother is down here. My brother. They made this for me, and they didn't put, I don't know who made this. So whoever did this on Snapfish and sent it to my P.O. box, let me know, because this is beautiful. It's got like adhesive on the back. My wife thought it was a magnet, but it's not. So it's like a sticky kind of 3M kind of thing. So thank you. I haven't been to my P.O. box in a while, and that was the big pile that was in there. So whoever did that, please let me know. It just came from Snapfish, and it didn't have a note or anything in there, but it had my real name. Like, it didn't say DutyRon, it said my real name on there. So it's got to be someone who knows me. And I share my real name out there anyway, so it doesn't matter. I don't hide it. But yeah. So hey, listen, I'm going to share the link quickly. I like to do this because I'm going to wrap it up. I'm at this 30 minutes. But again, let's circle back to the fakes, the phonies, and the frauds that are out there. Gabby Petito Foundation will never reach out to somebody and ask them for donations, etc., etc., etc. Just be aware of that. I'm going to show you these series of direct messages from this unscrupulous jagaloon. This is an account. This is the account to look out for. But know that anybody that reaches out to you and asks, hi, Susan Bennett, good to see you. Robo Kathy, Hodge the Brute, good morning, good to see you. Gerda Coates, all the way from South Africa. She is here. So this is the jagaloon. This is the account. This is a direct message going all the way back. Looks like October 19th. 4:30 in the morning. So this account has been in existence since October. So this is 4 months and nobody has done anything about it. These people have tried to get the account shut down, but they are frustrated and they contacted me. But this person has contacted them early. And then now again, starting again, over again. So they have this Cash App that says $Petito Joe. It's a fake account, and it comes back to this person, Deshaun Wiley, Wylie. And I'm sure that this person has changed this because they're now exposed, you know?
Oh, hell no.
So don't send any money to jagaloons. Yeah, This guy's a real scumbag. It takes a really special kind of shitty person to do something like this. So this is the full account. It had 15,900 people following it. It had 150 posts. Let me take this off and search for this account. Hold on a second. Give me a second. Gabby _ Petito. Let me do this. All right, here it is. Oh, isn't that shocking? The person must be watching because now I'm blocked from viewing the account. Wait a minute. I'm not. I typed it in wrong. It's got 18,600 subscribers. Let me show you it live. It's still live. This account is still in existence right now. So I'll go full screen. Be aware of this account. I want to block it. I actually want to block it, but I'm not going to because I want to follow what happens to it. There's a lot of people here. Carolina Girl is following. Ramona Harden. There's a lot of people that are following this account. And here's the last post that they made 2 days ago. They made a post. This fake account has made it a post. What a shame. How this remains in existence is beyond me. It's following nobody, 158 posts, 18,600 followers. Just despicable, disgusting. So stay away from this account. Keep an eye out for it. I'm going to be monitoring it. I just reported it yesterday, but I reported it to Instagram's law enforcement liaison. So I had that, from back in the day in my Rolodex. So I used that email that I have, and I put on Gabby Petito's mom, Nicole, to it, and she has her security, who's a retired NYPD, one of their family friends. He is also, I forwarded it to him, and he's going to be reporting it directly to Instagram. So hopefully in the next day or two, we'll see this account be removed. They are Jagaloons 101. Disgusting, despicable. All right, let me share the hold on a second. Stop sharing. Let me invite some people if you want to come up and let me know what you think about this. Hold on. I'm going to put it in the chat. If you want to come up, just make sure your mic is right and your camera is right. So there's the link if you want to join and talk only about these scammers that are out there, purporting to be part of the Gabby Petito Foundation or Gabby Petito's family. That is a special kind of dirtbag. Like I don't understand how and why anybody would do that. So it takes a special kind of scumbag to do that. So Billy Ryan, boom, he just comes right on in. Billy doesn't waste any time. My brother.
How are you, my friend?
How are you, brother?
I'm sad, when I see this, Ron. It's terrible. I mean, it's just, and there's just so many people out there that are just, they're looking for a tragedy to take advantage of, and there's never a lack of vultures and parasites in the world, but you got to do what you can. I mean, I try to think of it the other way. Look how many kind-hearted people are out there that are with the best of intentions contributing. I mean, they don't know they're contributing sometimes to a false guy, but I mean, I think a lot of it is, there's no real way to police it other than the community itself has to police it. Does it help if we all get on and report these sites? I mean,
Yeah.
what's the way to handle it? I mean,
mass reporting does help, but when it comes from the family, I got together with Gabby's mom yesterday, and I showed her all this stuff. She was unaware of it. And she sent it to her security guy. Look at one of our channel members, North Florida, Gary, says, someone on Twitter recently used my account. They made an account to look just exactly like mine. and they changed one letter. They went to my friend, DMing all my friends, claiming to be me, asking for money, and one of them gave $150.
Yeah, I try to keep it to, I have to know the organization because, I mean, it doesn't take them a lot to use these platforms to collect money because the platforms, I don't know how well they, screen it and check it.
Hey, Billy, I wanted to tell you, this is funny because you're the first guy to jump right in here. Before the stream, I had the Bomb Squad shirt I was going to wear from the Republican National Convention. And it's funny that you were the first one to chime in. That would have been great if I had it on. But I always have it in my repertoire to have my Bomb Squad shirt to represent. It's an oldie but a goodie. I love that shirt.
It's fun. I used to have one of their Apple pins where they had the apple with the bomb symbol in the middle of it. And I remember somebody was after it and was a real collector. And I get these things. I'm not a big collector, so oh, please let me have it. I'm like, yeah, here you go. And I figured I'd be able to replace it. I've never been able to get my hands on one since. But
hey Billy, let's talk about the scammers that came out of the woodwork for September 11th, claiming to be victims' family advocates. There was American Red Cross fake accounts put up. All these different various churches and organizations that were legitimately donating at the family center. People got wind of it and created these fake accounts, and they were a dime a dozen. I remember that. And, my family was directly affected by it, and it really hurt to see that happening, so.
It does, I mean, I can't even tell you how. I mean, it was just an overload of people doing it because, too, it's, and the internet and the social platforms aren't then what they are now. And I mean, people were just able to get people to send them checks and money online. I mean, it was just incredible. And there's so much, people would put up and say, "Oh, I'm collecting for police or firefighters or the widows, the orphans." And I mean, people were just, the outpouring was so tremendous with people with good intentions. But, there's always going to be certain people that are going to scam it. And I mean, I know some people were caught, but I know it's a federal crime because it's on the wire. But I mean, I just don't know what kind of real time. I mean, you look at people out here now, Ronnie, are doing real crimes, violent crimes, and not going to jail. I mean,
yeah.
You're almost telling people, why not steal online? It's terrible.
Exactly. Yeah. And Ed Wallace is in the chat. He just got up earlier. He had a late night. So Eddie puts in, I know who you are. I know what you want. What I do have a very particular set of skills I've acquired over a very long career, skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. There you go. I mean, I know that I didn't even confer with Ed on this case. And I know when I'm done with this, he's going to be calling me. And he's going to be saying, "Hey, let's get this thing shut down." And you know what? You want to vet because, again, there are legitimate people that try to drum up money for good reasons and for the families, right? So you don't want to attack those people. But when you see stuff like this, where I have receipts and screenshots of them purporting to be Gabby Petito's aunt, that's despicable. When I showed that to Nicole, Gabby's mom, she freaked out and she was like, no. We don't go and ask anybody. And she told me, she said, make a stream about this. She said, talk about it to the high heavens. We don't ask for money. We have our website. People donate there. We have our fundraisers. We have our merchandise and products. Dr. Ed Moskowitz from Pocatello, Idaho sends in a $20 super chat. He or she, because I don't know if it's him or his wife or both of them, for research. In case I'm not feeling well. Thank you, Dr. Ed. Now I know it's Dr. Ed because he's not feeling well. So let's send a lot of prayers to Dr. Ed Moskowitz for his health and healing. I also want to say that Jolene, one of my great moderators, a unbelievable, she runs groups on Facebook, legit groups, where she doesn't allow jagaloons to exist. So Jolene, who's always here, she's a channel member, she's a friend. Her father passed away yesterday.
Wow.
So let's send prayers in the chat and hearts for Jolene. She lost her dad She was on the airplane flying to see him, and he passed away while she was up in the air. So she didn't get to say goodbye to him. She was rushing to go to the hospital. She communicated that with me yesterday. So let's send lots of prayers and strength to Jolene, a fellow channel member, a great, great moderator, a great group creator and administrator. She's an actual moderator and admin in one of my groups. So that's how much I trust and love her. So lots of prayers and strength to her. Billy, you are one of the great ones. An NYPD detective. You worked in many different units in different capacities, but arson and explosion is your forte and expertise. Amongst other things, you are an asset to true crime creators like myself, fellow brothers in blue. Ed Wallace and I, respect you tremendously. I reach out to you personally for friends of mine who have issues, and Ryan Investigatives Group is run by this man right here. So his website is linked on DutyRon.com. You guys can go over there and check it out. He's a great guest. He's always available. He avails himself at any time to me and to you guys. So kudos to you, Bill, for everything that you do.
Glad to see you. You're feeling better. Eddie Wallace out there. I'm glad to see he's feeling better. Eddie, I always felt great when I had a case when I had Ed Wallace show up on the scene, because I knew that was just things I didn't have to worry about anymore, because he's such a professional. And I mean, and the knowledge he has, and he's written many books. He teaches all over the world. I mean, you see these, people talk about crime scene experts. There's a lot of hacks out here and a lot of junk science. You got a guy like Eddie coming up. He's the real deal. He's really done it. He's not just an academic. He's put the time in, and I always felt better in my cases, and a lot of the success I had on cases was because I had Eddie Wallace and people like Eddie Wallace contributing to it. So thank you, Eddie.
Yeah, he is a tremendous asset to any investigation. And again, the guy is he dots his I's, he crosses his T's. He's a consummate professional. And I have to say to Timmy Acosta, thank God he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I got a guy." I was doing a case on Christine Engelhardt. I was covering a young girl that was killed last St. Patrick's Day down in Florida at spring break, and I needed an expert on DNA and crime scene. And Timmy Acosta reached out and he's like, "Hey, I got a guy." And I was like, "Oh, who do you got?" And he goes, "I got Ed Wallace." And there he is, the man.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you, Ed?
What are you doing? Bagpipes for?
Too good this morning. I woke up with a massive sinus headache. Hey, Billy, how are you?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
It could be better. It could be good. Every time I take a flight, my sinuses get all wacky when we decompress and land. And I came home yesterday from assignment in Florida, and I wasn't sleeping well down there in Florida. I don't know why. The weather was beautiful, but anyhow, so I'm back home here in New York, and I didn't get good rest last night. I woke up with that massive headache. I'm still fighting it right now. It's like right over my right eye. But
I hope you feel
Billy's
better.
the best, though. Billy's the best. I always enjoyed working with Billy too. I know he paid me a lot of accolades, but we worked together in many cases and worked together on the pilot, Ground Zero, and
absolutely
got the same diseases.
We certainly did. The gift that keeps on giving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. It is the gift that keeps giving. But Ed, what's your thoughts on this Gabby Petito impersonation? This account has been in existence since October. And before we get into it, I just want to say that I got this information midday yesterday, and I knew that you were coming home and flying back. You said you had an early flight, so I was like, I can't bother this guy with this. Let me handle it. So I reached right out to Gabby's mom, and I sent her. She asked me for the screenshots. I sent her all the stuff, and she was like, "Oh no, we're going to get right on it." So
Billy and I are post careers are both licensed private investigators. I have multiple licenses in multiple states, and I had a similar case. A friend of mine a female friend of mine from Louisiana had a startup, small female-owned startup company, and she got scammed by a bunch of Nigerian scammers. And that purchased close to $40,000 worth of computer hard drives. And what they did is they did 2 purchase orders. They mimicked a company that she had already had an account with, and they cloned that company's website, pretended to be that company, put in the purchase orders, and she didn't question it because she's had purchases from this company in the past. And then they split the order in half and sent them via UPS to 2 separate locations in the United States. And from those locations where the intermediaries were, they repackaged and shipped to a warehouse outside of JFK to ship it overseas to Nigeria. And so she got me involved in the case. And I give her, to her credit, she did a lot of the legwork on the case, got help from UPS, didn't get much help from various law enforcement authorities, including the federal government. But I was able to track down the warehouse. Got another buddy of mine that's a licensed private detective. We went over there and we were able to seize the packages before they got sent overseas to Nigeria.
Wow.
And get those packages back to her. So I tell this lowlife that's out there, mine wasn't a veiled threat. I will find you if you continue to do something like this and hurt innocent people.
Yeah, and this is just this is over the top because you're exploiting and trying to utilize a person who, as we know, has been through the ringer, and the family has been through the ringer, and this is just disgusting on so many different levels. And we take this seriously as law enforcement professionals, retired. We still have those skills, and Ed says it so well. Our skills, can dribble off and not stay as sharp as they were when we were on. But Ed does all of his training. He retrains. He checks the latest thing. And I know, Billy, you do the same thing, and I do the same. I try to keep up on the law's current techniques and all the different kind of procedures and investigative steps and things of that nature. So we stay sharp on it. So, if you're out there or if you see something, the people who sent me these DMs, it was dozens. I only responded to 2, but there was dozens of people that sent me. So this person must have been doing a hit, like going through all of these 18,000 subscribers or followers, and probably sent out a mass direct message asking for money. And that's when my detective little ringer sensor goes off, and I say, I got to do something. This is serious, because if it was one person, okay, maybe not, maybe not something major, but I got it from dozens, and I knew that it was a problem. So, yeah, I sent you a private message, Ed. I don't know if you want to just check that real quick. And hey, so quickly, I wanted to ask you. Fast, Billy, when you were doing you were doing regular casework, right? Obviously, you started out. I believe you said you started out in the squad, right? You started out working squad, or did you go straight to? You didn't go straight to arson explosion, right?
No, I went from narcotics. I was in CCIU for about 2 days. Then I went to missing persons for 7 months.
Right.
And then I went to arson explosion. So it was, but then I did my last 13 years in arson explosion. I got sick, and now I'm a civilian again. But
but I'm saying what I was trying to bring up is that the folks that work in the squad get these impersonation cases quite a bit, where we used to get them where people would actually take over their either relatives or cousins' ID and get locked up with their ID. Like, Ed, I don't know if you've ever had it, but I had it a few times, where we were going out to do a warrant hit and grab a guy. We would fingerprint him because he was adamant, this is not me, this is not me. And it turns out his friend or his relative gets his ID and either steals it from him and gets arrested with it. They look similar, and a processing cop just processes them with their ID. So it's like there's so many different, like you talked about the Nigerian shell companies and stuff. I have, and I won't mention her name, one of my Patreon supporters, channel members, great supporter, was bilked by a Nigerian account of tens of thousands of dollars. Like I won't even say how much, but it was a ridiculous amount of money that she sent to this guy under the guise that he had a daughter who was sick and was dying. And it was a freaking scam. And, you know, she learned her lesson by it, but that lesson got learned at age 45.
And they play your heartstrings. They play on your heartstrings, just like the Gabby people. You know, they're playing on your heartstrings.
Yeah, and a lot of times they're attacking the most vulnerable, our senior citizens, who are living on a limited income, a fixed income, and they don't have that kind of money to lose.
Right.
And it's just a shame. I mean, that there are people like this, lowlifes out there like this, to take advantage of any situation, whether it's Katrina, Hurricane Sandy, 9/11, a horrific homicide case like this. It's just mind-boggling how low these people can be.
Yeah, he sent her. She shared the screenshots and the messages with me. He sent her a message. He said, "If you don't send me, because it was at that point it was $1,200, my daughter is going to die from not getting medical attention." Yeah. And he claimed to be in Nigeria, and she. You know, a lot of people, you know, like you said, Billy, they tug at your heartstrings, right? So he had her, you know, he was a snake oil salesman. He was able to buy and sell her. And she admits that, you know, she was, you know, vulnerable and at that point emotionally tied into it, because prior to that, he set her up saying that he wanted to marry her and that she, you know, he thought she was beautiful. And that whole, it's like a whole courting that they do, and they won her over, and then she sent tens of thousands of dollars to this guy. But anyways, I'm just making an example that there is more than just scammers that are here in the United States. This person completely exposed, very, very paying attention, a woman who was paying attention to detail caught on to his bullcrap. And she started screenshotting, and she thought, okay, I got this guy. I'm going to report him to Instagram, and they're going to take his account down. But that was in October. She said she did it numerous times. She reached out to people, and, you know, so many people reach out to not just content creators, but if you could imagine the Petito and Schmidt family, they probably get, God only knows, when the highlight of this was going on, they probably couldn't even open up their social media. So if this woman, as she said, reached out to, you know, the Petitos, the Schmidts, it's impossible. These people were trying to, you know, make arrangements for their daughter's funeral and, you know, going through this whole thing and this investigation. They weren't paying attention to social media like that. There was probably specific people that they were communicating with. So this went on the wayside, and I'm hoping, I want to monitor this. I did send the email into the law enforcement liaison section of Facebook, which is owned by Instagram, hoping that something will happen, but we'll see how that goes. You know,
it's funny, Ron. I mean, you know, these platforms, you know, and pick them all because I think a lot of them are somewhat similar. You know, they will take you down, or, you know, put you in you know, their jail or whatever. You know, for like, you know, fact checking. You know, how can they shut profiles down or limit profiles for opinions, and yet you'll have people using their platforms to commit crimes? And like you said, this is October. You know, I mean, I remember I posted something about the police, and I ended up, you know, getting restricted for 90 days. And I'm like, really, for that? You know, and the kick goes, I got it from another Facebook page. So I'm like, you know, but, you know, where is the, you know, where's the police in their system? You know, they'll shut you down if they don't like your point of view, but they won't shut down a person like this scamming people. I mean, you know, there's got to be better controls for their system.
Bill, you bring up a great point. You know, people get shut down for their opinions, but then you got jagaloons like this and criminals. These are outright criminals. You know, like Ed said, this is, you know, federal. You're talking about federal crimes when you're talking about commerce over the internet.
Yeah, and what I published earlier on the chat was that, unfortunately, the feds won't take a case for this unless the monetary value is like over $100,000.
Yeah.
So all these, and the bad guys know this, and so they keep doing it over and over again. It's like what they did in California and what they're doing across the country with shoplifting. If it's under $1,000, then no one's getting arrested for it. So these people will go in there and raid a Walgreens and wipe the shelves clean, so long as it's not $900 or less, and they'll keep going in there until the store is emptied.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part is this is going on so many different levels. We had the recent report in Manhattan at that same boutique that was smash and grabbed during the summer of love 2020 in the wake of George Floyd. They lost $3.5 million worth of product in Manhattan. I believe it was the Nike store or something. They had an incident happen on Thursday. 2 people came in, smash and grabbed. I think it was $3,000 worth of items, and they got away with it. So things are getting crazy, and there's so many different levels of scams and crimes that go on. But the crimes on the internet have been around for a long time. It's just these people are opportunists. They look at situations just like the September 11th terrorist attack on our country. You're talking about 2,200 people killed, murdered at one site in World Trade Center, plus, and people still had the audacity to try to scam and try to get money off of that.
And Ronnie, to speak somewhat to Ed's point about the feds will only go after if it's a certain value. With the internet, I mean, you can, we keep saying Nigeria. So I mean, what are you going to do if the guy is really in Nigeria? Go up and they're not going to go lock him up over there. A lot of these scammers aren't even based in the United States.
Right.
So even if the feds are going to take a case on it, now you still got the jurisdictional issue. I mean, the internet doesn't have jurisdiction. I do a lot of stuff with trademark counterfeit luxury goods, and without getting into the brands or the locations, a lot of these are coming from Asian countries, and we can prove it and make a case. But what are you going to do? Go lock up somebody in an Asian country? No one's going to do that. So
going back onto your point, Billy, if they're going to shut someone down for a political opinion or opinion on something, then why not quickly shut down somebody like this after seeing obvious they're phishing? They on Instagram, they have to see if they sent mass messages. Like if I share my video too many times on Facebook in the different groups, I get shut down for a week. Like you can't share anymore.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
They should be able to see this guy's account and see that he took all of his 18,000 or a segment of his 18,000 followers and sent direct messages for asking for money. That has to be clear and evident to them.
And this is why I don't have these social media accounts. But for those in our audience who do have an Instagram account, contact Instagram about this site and ask to have it shut down. The more people that contact them, the more they're likely to do something about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that for a fact that this account here, this is the one that's in question. It's got 18,600 subscribers currently. It's got 158 posts, and it's following.
Think about if he's getting just $1 from every one of them, Ron.
Yeah. And then when he's directing for people to send money through Venmo and PayPal, it comes back to that guy's name that I posted up on there. It's just a crazy situation. And listen, it's been going on since October. So to have that go on that long, Instagram/Facebook, they're not listening to the general public. They are doing things. They're marching to their own drumbeat, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Brent Montgomery, thank you for the $10 super chat. And thank you for all the emails and things that you send me. He sends a lot of pictures and a lot of investigative work behind the scenes. So thank you for all you do, Brent Montgomery. Dr. Moskowitz, you send another $20 for EchoSearch if you're not present. I don't know if that's a repeat, but you sent one earlier in that same light. And thank you so much for that. Dr. Ed and Julie, that's his wife. Amy S. says, I'm a senior and a well-known bank texted me one weekend. I was concerned since it wasn't my bank, but my bank was merging, so I wasn't sure what to think. I found out it wasn't really a bank. Anytime any bank or any of your companies ask you for private information or send you a message like that, delete it and report it. First report it, then delete it. That's what I do. I report, then I delete. The banking institution I bank with, if I get stuff from them where it's like something phishing, trying to get money or your account, they want either your account password or your social security number or some type of sensitive information, immediately report that to that institution. Even if it's not your bank, if it's a Bank of America, you go to Bank of America, Google Bank of America security department, go over to the security department, and you can send a copy of that message to them, and they'll hopefully do something about it. Anyways, yeah, it's crazy. Ed, I know why you stay away from the internet, but I have to be on it because of what I do here. I get all those messages. I get messages, from people saying, "Oh, this one died," or this one, can you donate to my GoFundMe? I can't get involved in looking at all that stuff. I kind of just delete it and move on because I've
been getting one once a month for like the last year from a police charity. They were a police charity, and I'm like, I don't tell them. I'm like, and I let them run their spiel, and you ask them questions. They obviously don't know the answer. Crazy. Where does the money go? And it's easy to find us out there, especially with the internet. But and I got to tell you, he's pretty convincing. And I called him out several times, and he still calls me. And I don't block him because I kind of enjoy the gamesmanship of it. But
it's crazy. Hey, Cynthia Brawley, thank you for being new. And Cat H, channel member, says, I get letters from Amazon wanting me to enter banking information. That's not Amazon, as you know, obviously. And for anybody who's out there, just, again, when you get these suspicious messages or instant messages or emails, any communication from banking institutions, Amazon, or any of your online, footprints of anything that you've done, don't answer it. Don't click on links. Links are really dangerous. If you click on links, that's how people get hacked. So don't do that. Listen, I want this to stay focused on what the topic is, and it's the Gabby Petito scam artists that are out there. There's probably more than one. But listen, if you're new and your first time joining, consider subscribing to Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all one word, DutyRon. And DutyRon is now Ed knows, now DutyRon and Ed Wallace, we're on TikTok. He has no choice. His clips go on there. And Ed Wallace signed his life away when he signed that waiver. So
yeah, but Ron makes me do all the dancing things. He doesn't do any of that.
Next Saturday, it's going to be a live fundraiser for 3 or 4 hours, 12 noon to 4 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock. I didn't even tell Ed, but he's knowing about it right now. It's going to be all donations going on that fundraiser. No 30% from YouTube, no service fees, and it doesn't come through this. It's coming through this channel, but it's going straight to EquiSearch. I am going to do one for Gabby Petito Foundation. They have to add it to YouTube's list. It's not on there. Otherwise, I would have done it already. And I'm going to do a lot of other. The Cancer Society, I know a lot of things for Ed are important. I'm going to do a fundraiser for Ed, maybe in the name of your brother. We'll do one, Ed, if you want. Sure. And anybody who has, my father died of bile duct cancer. I would love to do something for the American Cancer Foundation or American Cancer Society. I got to look into what's a good thing to do. So we'll try to do 3 or 4 of these a year. I think it's a good way to donate to great causes. EquiSearch searches for the missing. We speak about missing person cases. Summer Wells, Harmony Montgomery, the missing boys, Orrin and Orson West. The list goes on and on. You have Maya Miliete. We don't know where she is. She just, we know who did what they did to her, but we don't know where she is. We need to continue to search for our missing. We need to continue to support the groups that do this, and they do it for free, and they rely on not only the public, but businesses to fund them so they can do this great work. It's God's work. They're out.
I always think when you have a long-term missing, and I hear people say, well, they're gone. And I'm like, you know what? You think about cases like Elizabeth Smart or Katie Beers in Long Island, people, young women that were missing for an extended period of time who eventually were found. I mean, I know it's a longer story to deal with here, but I mean, it does happen.
Right.
And, people are found, and, you have to, you have to keep the hope there and keep looking for these people, because, you got to bring everybody back. And I mean, there are positive outcomes of this. So,
Yeah.
just two names off the top to
Yeah.
folks to consider.
Ed and I highlighted Tim Miller was out on a search for a little boy in Texas, little Spanish kid. He didn't speak English. His whole family didn't speak English. And we did a highlight on that show. He was out there for 10 freaking days out in the woods, and they found him. EquiSearch was on scene every day. Tim Miller's driving around in his ATV and in the cold, and cold at night, warm during the day. It was just crazy. So we're going to highlight all the good that these folks do, and it's important. I'm going to send out invites. I'll invite you to come on if you have time next Saturday, Billy. I'm going to get Bill Cannon, and some of the great people. We're going to even reach out to the great Dr. Murray Marks. Maybe he'll come on just for a minute. We need as many people as we can get for short little segments, so we could talk about EquiSearch and the importance. And I'm sure that Dr. Marks has had either knowledge or knows of cases that EquiSearch was on, recovering, bones or, evidence for them to do their work in his line of work. So, we're going to reach out to as many people as we can. I'm going to ask Timmy Acosta to start throwing out some stuff to some people. And we're going to put together a 3 or 4 hour show. It's going to be a marathon. And it'll
really good detective. Tim Acosta. How are you, brother? I know you're out there.
He's out there. Timmy Acosta.
Me.
The reason I have Ed Wallace here with us is because of Timmy, So we all should be giving thanks and praise to Tim Acosta. And one of these days I'm gonna lure him in. I'm gonna do a fishing expedition on him, and I'm gonna
lie to him.
I won't lie to him. I'm gonna get him on the hook, and I'm gonna bring him in.
Remember what he says, right? In God we trust, all others we polygraph.
Absolutely.
He sent this to me.
Excellent.
This is from Timmy Acosta. It's right here. I use it as my mouse pad. Listen, I want to send a lot of love and respect to everybody in the chat, for all the folks who sent over super chats. You guys are great. Make sure you just keep your guard up when you're on the internet. It's a dangerous place. The internet superhighway is full of jagaloons and thieves and unscrupulous people. So just be careful when you're out there on the internet. I want to say a special thank you to the Patreon supporters, the channel members, and all the folks who engage in all of these live streams. This was unscheduled. I just had to do it because it was just something that was important, and I wanted to bring this information to you guys. Make sure you share it onto your social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I certainly am going to do that, but put it into the Gabby Petito group so everybody can know about this crummy piece of human garbage. And we'll get the message out there, and we'll continue to talk about this. Ed, a lot of people have been sending in messages that they want us to do a show on how to stay safe at home safety. So maybe we'll put something like that together. I think that'll be a good thing we could do.
Okay.
And we'll talk about stuff going forward. Look for a members only live tomorrow, probably around noon or 1 o'clock. It'll only be about a half hour, 40 minutes max. But for all the channel members, jagaloons are adults that act like children. Someone just asked in the chat, what's a jagaloon? You could Google it, Kathleen Pencho. It basically is an adult that acts like a child. So thank you, everybody. God bless the world. God bless the United States of America. And God bless each and every one of us here in the chat, but especially all victims of crime and their families. And we say a special prayer for Summer Wells, Gabby Petito, and all the missing Gabby Petito's family and everybody who is a victim of crime. Thanks, Ed. Thanks, Billy Ryan from Ryan Investigative Group.
My pleasure. Thanks, fellas.
Yes, thank you to all the chatters and the replay viewers. We love you guys. Thanks.